What up, VC? Just ripping off my second video in a row here quickly. As you can see, since I'm wearing the same shirt and the same record is in the back. But I have a little stash of records here from April, early May that I guess I had listened to. What I've been doing back then was pulling out a lot of records that I hadn't listened to in a while, and ones I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep or just wanted to revisit. And there's definitely a bunch that I put in a to get rid of pile. But there's a bunch that I decided to keep, and not all of them I had pulled out to kind of, maybe get rid of. But just some of them were maybe I hadn't listened to in a while or didn't really even remember. And if it's in this pile, it's because I did decide to keep it. So yeah, but I'm gonna file these away, as I said in my last video. Kind of file them away to make just clean up a bit around here. So I'm just I really don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna just show the record quickly. All of these would be recommended listens. So if you don't know the record, I recommend you check it out. Nucleus, Under the Sun on Vertigo. That's the label. I have a few Nucleus records. I have not listened to them in a long time, but I remember loving them all, and I enjoyed this one a lot. I think this is the first one I had ever picked up, actually. Something outside of my kind of normal scope of listening. This psych rock record, One. This is something I picked up because it was cheap. It's not in the best shape, but especially for this type of music, it doesn't deter from the listening as much. This is on Fontana. I believe it's a Canadian pressing. Yeah, so original Canadian pressing of this psych rock record from the early 70s, I believe. One of my favorite all-time musicians, but not one that people speak about, this record that is. But I enjoy all of Curtis Mayfield's 70s stuff. There's a couple I don't have, and some of the 80s stuff maybe I don't have, but all the ones I have from the 70s are really good. Obviously this is not one of the famous ones. This one's from 77. I don't even know what it's called. Never Say You Can't Survive, but dope stuff on here as well, as always with Curtis Mayfield. Hadley Kaliman on Mainstream. This is, I'm not trying to say it, Iapetus, but dope record on Mainstream. That's what the label looks like, you guys know that. And yeah, really kind of modal spiritual type jazz for cheap, which is always good. Another kind of cheap heat, even cheaper than that Hadley record. This one's for under $10 for sure. You probably find it for a few bucks. Sunny Fortune Awakening on A&M. This is, if this was on Strata East, it would be worth a lot more. Really, really solid record on Horizon A&M. If you don't know this, I know most of you in the VC do. This is good shit. Another UK jazz record that I picked up. This one I picked up while in England last year around this time. This is Oscar Jerome, Where Are Your Branches? Kind of a EP of sorts, actually, only 4 tracks, 2 per side. And there's a bunch of musicians on here, which I've heard of on other records. I don't think Moses Boyd. Who else? Joe Armand-Jones is on here. Wooloo, no, don't know who that is, singer. Yeah, I guess those would be the 3 that I know, but a whole bunch of other UK jazz musicians. This is pretty cool. It's not his first release, but this was the first time I discovered him. Recommended to me by the guys at Soul Jazz Records, Sounds of the Universe. Pulled out this Little Beaver record. Always love it every time I pull it out. Really, really like the vibe on this one. When Was the Last Time? Cool cover too. This is on Cat Records. So yeah, dig Little Beaver. It's kind of, like funky. It might be too slick for some of you, but some funky soul. Little bit not cheesy, but yeah, definitely some soft sounding stuff on here, but I dig the vibe. I haven't listened to this in a while. The Pentagon. This is a really good cheap jazz record on Eastwind, so a Japanese label. And the Pentagon is Clifford Jordan on tenor sax, Cedar Walton, Sam Jones, Ray Mantilla on congos, Billy Higgins on drums. So just, you know, a trio with Clifford Jordan on tenor sax with some added percussion. Very good. And, you know, I think I got this for $5. It can be found for cheap. I see it all the time. Not sure why. That Japanese record is easy to find, but yeah. Blue Mitchell, another mainstream blues. This is one I was almost putting in the to pass on pile, but I ended up giving it another listen, and I was kind of digging the vibe a bit more. So yeah, I'll spin it a few more times and see if it continues to make the cut. But you know, some bluesy, funky soul jazz. This one's another. I mean, it's not unknown. It's definitely known, but not necessarily super sought after, but should be. The Teachers, James Moody, just a really solid jazz record from the 70s. Little bit more on the soul jazz side. So yeah, this is on Perception. Everything I have on Perception, which is only a few records, but it's all solid stuff. And then lastly, I pulled this out again to listen to. This was a Egon recommendation, and it is excellent. So if you haven't heard this is the Dave Pike set and Grupo Baifro in Bahia, Salamo. Not really sure if I'm saying any of that right. So a little Brazilian flavor on here. This is on MPS, and this is definitely a standout record for me. And I don't know how much it is now, but it wasn't expensive, and highly recommended by Egon and me as well. So yeah, that's it for a little kind of listening stack that I had from the past, from over a month ago. But yeah, on to the next ones. I'll file these away and then pull out a bunch more to listen to. Peace.